Hello and welcome to Apple Talk Live. Ich dachte,
was war das denn für eine Sprache?
Ich stimme uns schon mal auf unseren heutigen Gast ein, oder?
Auf jeden Fall. Es wird eine sehr englischlastige Sendung.
Mhm, würde ich auch sagen.
Aber es ist schon total cool. Sag mal, hast du schon mal ein iPhone zerlegt?
Habe ich nicht. Ich habe mal mit Hilfe eines Ex-Arbeitskollegen ein Display getauscht von einem iPhone. Mhm.
Krass.
Ja.
Das ist schon mal Königsklasse.
Das ist war schon mal nicht schlecht, aber es war schon mit Assistance sozusagen. Und ich habe es auch hingekriegt, da bin ich auch stolz drauf, aber es ist schon ein paar Jährchen her, muss ich sagen.
Okay.
Und du?
Ja, ich habe heute im Vorfeld dieser Sendung, wir können da auch gleich mit unserem Gast nochmal drüber sprechen, mein altes iPhone 6 zerlegt. Also was heißt zerlegt? Ich habe das Display abgemacht und habe hier den Akku getauscht. Da habe ich gerade schon im Vorgespräch ein bisschen Ärger gekriegt. Ich Scheldewirkung, weil es kein iFixit-Akku ist. Ja. Unser Gast hat auch schon im Chat geschrieben, hallo. Offenbar spricht er auch doch Deutsch, glaube ich aber nicht. Deswegen wollen wir jetzt auch nicht lange auf die Folter spannen. Good evening, over to California. Hallo Kyle Wiens. Good evening.
Hello.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being on the show.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
It's fantastic to be talking finally. We've all been fans of your show.
Yeah. Also Kyle freut sich natürlich.
Ja, und er ist schon lange Fan unserer Sendung. Ja. Ich glaube, das stimmt nicht ganz. Aber was sagst du? What do you say to this battery? Is it okay, or should I have bought an iFixit battery?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you have to buy an iFixit battery, but there's kind of a spectrum of quality in the parts world. There's the cheapest parts that you can get on eBay and Amazon, and then there's better quality parts. If it works, great. I'm always astonished. There will be a product that will sell for 25 euros and you can get it on Amazon for 5 euros. And I just wonder, how does that work?
Ja, also Kyle hat natürlich gesagt, es gibt eine große Bandbreite von Teilen, die du kaufen kannst. Du hast jetzt, glaube ich, die mittlere Variante gewählt. Ja. Du sagtest so 14 Euro, aber Kyle meinte, es gibt so ein Range zwischen 5 und 25 Euro. Aber immer das gleiche Teil. Da fragt man sich natürlich, wo ist da die Qualität?
And they come with the tools. So there isn't, and somebody will earn some money with it. So there's a little span. Also jemand will ja Geld verdienen damit und man kriegt schon Werkzeug mit. How is that possible? And how do you do it? How do you do it with your batteries? They are reasonably better, but how do you produce them, or how do you do that?
Right. Well, the first thing is the tools. I'm not sure when you buy a kit at the low end price if the tools actually work. I've gotten suction cups with these inexpensive toolkits, and I don't see how you could possibly actually use it for repair.
Was this the reason to bring your own toolkits on the market? We have it here. It's a wonderful toolkit with a lot of Lot of bits. Was that the reason that there are so many bad tools on the market? Also war das der Grund, dass ihr ein eigenes Toolkit rausgebracht habt, weil es so viele schlechte Tools auf dem Markt gibt?
Yeah, it was a combination of we didn't feel like there were any tools that were at the quality level that we wanted, so we wanted to make a toolkit for ourselves. And then also some of the screwdriver bits actually didn't exist. I think we had the first iPhone pentalobe screwdriver on the market, the same thing with the Apple Watch. So we're always, when new screwdrivers come out, we're always the first to get them.
Mhm. Okay, also tatsächlich waren Sie die Ersten, die qualitativ hochwertige Schraubendreher, nicht Schraubenzieher, rausgebracht haben. Und Sie versuchen das auch immer mit jedem iPhone oder generell mit Sachen, die rauskommen, das auch immer anzupassen. Ne?
Also klingt logisch und einfach, sounds logic and simple, but when Apple announces a new iPhone with a new screw, how do you get the correct tool for it? Is it a reverse engineering? Also wie kriegst du das richtige Tool? Ist das reverse engineering?
Yes, it's reverse engineering. We'll get the screwdriver or the individual screw, and we'll take laser measurements and make a replacement screw for it. The day that we get the device, we generally have to make some kind of special screwdriver. We'll take a file and modify existing tools so that we can get into it. Yeah. And then afterwards, we work with our manufacturers. Every single bit in that kit is individually CNC machined.
Krass. Okay, also tatsächlich wird jedes Mal, wenn jetzt zum Beispiel ein neues iPhone rauskommt und da eine neue Schraube mit dabei ist, machen die von iFixit sozusagen Laserabdrücke oder sowas war das, ne? Ja. Um dann tatsächlich auch in einem Rückwärtsschritt dann eben die Werkzeuge herzustellen.
Sounds like a lot of fun and a lot of work. Also klingt nach viel Spaß und viel Arbeit.
We make millions and millions of those bits. We have a room. I mean, just massive room with dozens of CNC machines just going 24/7.
I see. Okay. Before we talk about the beginning of iFixit, so we are very curious about that. You say when there's a new iPhone, and this is you make teardown videos. Also ihr macht Teardown-Videos, wenn ein neues iPhone kommt. How do you get your hands on the first iPhone? Is it a run to the Apple Store? Also rennt ihr zum Apple Store and grab your first iPhone, or you simply order online and hope that it gets to you on time?
It is a little bit of both. We will do whatever we have to do. Australia is ahead of Germany and the US, and so sometimes we'll go to Australia and we wait in line at the Apple Store. Sometimes we'll buy 10 of them online and in different mechanisms, and then get the one that comes the soonest.
Cool.
Okay, also du hast gefragt, wie iFixit zu den iPhones kommt, halt so schnell wie möglich, ne? Ob sie es online bestellen oder ob sie vielleicht irgendwo in Apple Stores sich anstellen, und tatsächlich ist es so eine Kombination aus beidem. Also in Australien, da ist von der Timezone her, die sind am schnellsten, das heißt, die fliegen teilweise auch nach Australien, stellen sich da am Apple Store an und ordern auch online, und dann schauen sie halt, welches zuerst ankommt.
Ja, very, very cool. I'm very I like it. I'm the first who watches the video when you get into a new device, because it's some Apple sells some kind of magic. The device magically works, and you open it and you see, no, it's simply technology. Also Apple verkauft mir irgendwie Magie, das Ding funktioniert irgendwie, aber wenn ihr das aufmacht, dann sieht man, it's a simple technology. Es ist einfach nur Technik.
True. Ja.
Yeah, we have a question from Fabian Richter. He asks if there's a Black Friday deal, and I'm prepared for that. Yes, there is, as I see. Yeah. I have opened your homepage, and the first window, there's the Black Friday sale.
Yep.
Okay.
Also es gibt
we've put together some special bundles of some of our different tools, and we have a kind of cool new iFixit branded strap that comes with it. So this is a good time to be buying holiday gifts.
Also ja, heute ist ja auch Black Friday, wie wir alle wissen, und die Frage war, ob es auch ein paar Deals gibt, und ja, gibt es ein paar.
Und what better gift than an iFixit kit?
Right.
Okay. Auf jeden Fall, er muss mal kurz da seine Leute zur Raison rufen.
And I'll show you, we're kind of excited. We got these new refrigerator magnets.
Cool.
So they have a beer,
bottle opener, cool.
Yeah.
Cool, yeah. Yeah, maybe we get one in exchange for our cup. You get a
There
cup.
you go. Absolutely, we can trade.
Also Kühlschrankmagnete mit Flaschenöffner noch
Sehr
dran.
praktisch. And
Cool.
American love magnets on their refrigerators. I know that. Okay.
I put them on my toolbox.
Yeah, cool. And it's magnetic. You can put screws on it when you screw them out of the phone. That's great. That's
also
great.
Schrauben, die man dann da drauf machen kann, damit sie nicht. Die sind ja so klein und fisselig.
Yeah, I almost lost some of this, but I found. Now let's talk about iFixit.
Yeah.
Julia.
My first question would be if you give our listeners or viewers a quick summary of how it all started. So what was your intention when you started iFixit?
Sure. Yeah, I was trying to fix my laptop and I couldn't find a repair manual anywhere. And I was Googling for it and I knew what the repair manual should look like and it wasn't on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
And so I stumbled my way through the repair and I was able to get it fixed. But I did some research later and I learned that Apple had sent their lawyers after everyone who had shared those service manuals.
Oh. And that was not always the case. The first Apple computers came with complete circuit diagrams with manuals. Even the source code of the operating system was included.
So, okay, also tatsächlich hat Kai damit angefangen, dass sein Laptop kaputt gegangen ist und er wollte ihn reparieren und hat halt nirgendwo irgendwie eine Anleitung gefunden und hat sich dann da irgendwie so ein bisschen durchgewurstelt. Und tatsächlich war es wohl so, das war, was ich noch verstanden habe, dass das verboten war, irgendwie Anleitungen ins Netz zu stellen. Und du hast dann gesagt, dass das aber nicht immer so war, ne? Wann
Apple
war das so?
Also das waren die ersten Apple-Computer, das war in den 80er Jahren, hat Apple das mitgeliefert, die Manuals. Ne? Also das war schon sehr beeindruckend. Have you and your company changed the mindset of other companies? From your perspective, has there been a change in that?
I really think that we have seen a significant change over the last year or two. You have new companies like Framework, this new laptop company that's a repairable modular laptop. You have Microsoft redesigning their Surface laptop from something that's totally glued together to something that's more repairable. We've seen the new MacBook Pro is designed to be more repairable. So I think, and those changes don't happen quickly, right? These are all years in the works. So I think we started winning and convincing people 4 or 5 years ago, and we're just now starting to see the effects of that.
Okay, also tatsächlich ein langer Progress, also eine lange Zeit hat es gedauert. Aber iFixit konnte tatsächlich so ein bisschen das Mindset von einigen Firmen ändern. Er hat Framework genannt und Microsoft, die ihre Geräte jetzt ein bisschen besser dazu gestalten, dass man sie halt auch reparieren kann. Und Apple zieht ja jetzt quasi nach.
Ihr könnt mitdiskutieren. You can discuss with us. Wir könnt über unseren Hashtag #ApfelTalkLive oder im YouTube-Chat mit uns reden. Da sind der Jan und der Stefan. We have 2 persons in our chat who give us the questions if there are any. Is that Apple? In some cases, Apple is leading the industry. They are producing high quality products, but in most times they are not so repairable as the user wishes. Will that change in the future? What do you think? Also Apple führt die Industrie an, ist in vielen Dingen vorne, aber die Produkte sind nicht so reparierbar, wie man sich das wünschen würde. Was denkt er? Wird sich da was verändern?
I think that it needs to change. If we want a planet that we can live on, we have to find a way to make our electronics more sustainable. We have to find a way to consume less and use the things that we have longer. So that means starting with the short-lived products. Just in the U.S., if everyone in the U.S. were to use our phones a year longer, it's the equivalent of taking 600,000 cars off the road.
Okay.
600,000.
Wow.
Okay.
Kannst du es nochmal?
Das ist eine Menge. Also tatsächlich hat Kyle auch gesagt, da muss sich was dran ändern, weil so diese kurzlebigen Technologien, das geht halt einfach nicht mehr. Ich meine, wir sehen das Klimawandel und alles. Und wie war das? Ein Gerät? Nee, irgendwas mit 600.000?
Ja, wenn man als Gerät nur eine Periode länger benutzt, ein Jahr länger benutzt,
ein Jahr länger,
600.000 Autos.
600.000 Autos, das ist krass.
But the great smartphone companies like Samsung, Apple, name it, they throw smartphones on the market every year. Apple, we all know the cycle. September, there's a new iPhone. Is that the right way or should there be longer cycles for the companies? Also die großen Smartphone-Firmen alle bringen jedes Jahr neue Geräte raus. Apple auch. Wir wissen, im September kommen neue iPhones. Ist das noch der Weg oder müssen die da langsamer werden?
I'm not so worried about the upgrade cycle of how often they introduce new products as I am about how long the products that I bought from them last.
Okay.
If Samsung is going to release a new phone, they should make software updates for it for 10 years. It's ludicrous to have something that costs €1,000 that they only support security patches for a couple years. A phone shouldn't get slow 2 or 3 years in because of a software update or a battery that's run down. So we need consumables, we need software updates, we need phones that can physically be repaired. That's what's going to make the difference. It's perfectly fine to have new products. I don't want to slow down the pace of innovation. I just want to make sure that the innovative products that I bought 5 years ago continue to function.
Ja, also klar, er sieht den Fehler jetzt nicht unbedingt in diesem Upgrade-Cycle, also das, was du genannt hast, dass jedes Jahr was Neues rauskommt, sondern eher, dass genau diese Produkte, die dann vorgestellt werden, dass man die halt nicht nur für 3-4 Jahre hat, sondern vielleicht für 10 Jahre. Und das ist auch das Problem, dass ja irgendwie so diese Updates und so halt nur für einen bestimmten Zeitraum konzipiert sind und eben nicht für diese längere Zeitperiode.
Ja.
Und das muss sich halt ändern.
Ja. Apple still delivers updates for this iPhone 6. Not the newest iOS, also Apple bringt immer noch neue Updates, aber eben nicht mehr das neueste iOS. Okay, that's a good way. I don't know if they have to or if they do it on free will. I don't know, but as a consumer, I think, okay, great, I get updates. I can use at least a few apps are still working on it, and when I put an iFixit battery in, it will work.
It will work
very
even
good.
better.
Yes. Apple gets credit for this. This is something that they do very well, is make security updates available for older devices. So I really want to give Apple plaudits. That's something that particularly Samsung does not do well. Google does a reasonable job with their Pixel phones, but the whole Android community obviously is far behind.
Yeah.
Where Apple does not do a great job is maintaining performance on older devices. So you'll install a new operating system and your device gets older. So they do need to spend more time, and that's just software engineering time. It's perfectly possible to make a newer operating system performant on older devices. They just have to put the time into it.
Okay.
Ja, okay, also tatsächlich macht es Apple ganz gut. Das ist schon mal ganz schön. Da gab es ein Lob von Kyle. Samsung ist wohl nicht so gut. Google wohl okay, und was halt so ein bisschen so ein Downer ist, dass halt die Performance auf den älteren Geräten eben nicht mehr gut ist, und da sollte Apple zum Beispiel ein bisschen mehr, weil es ist möglich, ne? Es sollte einfach nur ein bisschen mehr Zeit investiert werden, damit das halt funktioniert und nicht nur einfach Security-Updates gemacht werden.
Okay, we have a few comments. Wir haben ein paar Kommentare. Fiona schreibt, das Übersetzen von Schulenglisch nimmt echt den Fluss. Eure Community versteht das auch so. Ja, nein. Also ja, die meisten verstehen Englisch. We are talking about that our community understands English, but I think we have to translate it a little bit. It is okay. We understand you perfectly, of course. Ja, es ist ein bisschen zäh, verstehe ich, aber bitte nehmt es uns nicht übel. Wir versuchen, dass alle was mitnehmen.
Genau.
Wir versuchen es auch ein bisschen sanfter zu machen mit der Übersetzung. Markus schreibt, Michi, man muss nicht jedes Jahr neu kaufen. Ich habe mich und die Familie plus Familie schon auf einen längeren Zyklus konditioniert. Markus writes, he and his family are not buying every year. They have a longer cycle to buy new products. Fabian schreibt, ein iPhone als Baukastenbauweise indem man nur vereinzelte Komponenten tauschen könnte, wäre manchmal schon praktisch. A modular iPhone is suggested, so that you can change individual parts, maybe not only when they are not working, but also when they get an upgrade. Maybe the camera module, you can easily change that. That is a great idea,
I think that could be the future, right?
Absolutely, this is possible. We've seen some clever hacks where people have swapped out the Lightning port for a USB-C port. Wouldn't that be nice? And this is the idea behind. We've had a number of modular phone concepts out there. Unfortunately, none of them have really made the mainstream. Fairphone is doing this. Fairphone is a smartphone startup out of the Netherlands. They released a camera upgrade for the Fairphone. So you can take your phone apart, swap out the camera. Wouldn't that be cool? Because I think if you look at the big difference between the iPhone 13 and say an iPhone 11, it's probably more pronounced in the camera than anything else.
Ja, also Baukastensystem wäre auf jeden Fall super. Gibt's wohl schon beim Fairphone. Die haben zum Beispiel einen Baukasten für die Kameras. Ja. Und das hat Kyle halt auch gesagt, ne? Also jetzt beim neuen 13er ist es halt die Kamera.
Yeah, but if Apple would introduce such a phone, that will be industry leading, and everything or every company will follow it. Yeah. I don't know why Apple doesn't do that. What holds them to make such a phone? What do you think?
Yeah, Apple puts a lot of investment into the iPhone. The screen and battery are designed to be straightforward to replace, but I think Apple is a little bit on the upgrade treadmill. It would be very straightforward to add an SD card slot to the iPhone. There's plenty of room, right? Yeah. Now that we're going to eSIM, all they would have to do is just replace the SIM card slot with a micro SD card. They don't do that because of the profit potential. Unfortunately, there's so much money. You look at their profit when you go up in the size tiers on the phones. So I think that's something where consumers are going to have to demand it, because right now they're very happily raking in the dough.
Ja, of course.
Hat also eher Geldgründe. Man könnte es wohl machen, aber warum sollte man, ne?
Ja, das ist sehr schön formuliert. Sie fahren einfach das Geld ein. Ja. Das ist so. Das stimmt. But now something has changed. As Steve Jobs would have said, the hell freezes over. Apple has announced a self-repair program. Yeah. I read a tweet of you where you were very excited about it. And you praise Apple for that, at least I thought it sounds like. What do you think about this program? We don't know much about it yet, but what do you think?
Right. So at a high level, Apple has announced they're going to start selling parts for the iPhone, and they're going to make service manuals publicly available. So this is fantastic. This is what every responsible company should be doing. It is just not acceptable to make a product, particularly one with a consumable like a battery, and not make parts available. And Apple would say, well, we have Apple Store service. Well, in some countries, in some cities in the world, but there are not very many Apple stores. So we need additional options. This is really a fantastic win, and this is something that we've been pushing for. I've been pushing for close to 20 years.
Ja, krass. Also Kai findet es tatsächlich super, dass das gemacht wird. Jede verantwortungsvolle Firma sollte das machen, dass man einfach so die einfachen Sachen selber tauschen kann, weil klar, Apple sagt auch, geh halt in den Apple Store und mach's da, aber es ist ja tatsächlich so, also bei mir zum Beispiel zu Hause, wo meine Eltern wohnen, der nächste Apple Store ist halt einfach 100 Kilometer entfernt. So, da könnte
in Bremen we don't have an Apple Store. Yeah. The next Apple Store is in Hanover, and the other next Apple Store is in Hamburg, and so we were right in the middle, so I can travel 100 kilometers in this or that direction, but I don't have no means here in Bremen.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
and imagine if you were in Kenya, right? There's a large portion of the world. The products travel all over the place, even if it's not the original customer, and the product that needs maintenance every so often. Imagine if BMW said, we have a proprietary tire, and there's no way for you to get additional tires for this. It would be preposterous. that's been the situation that we have been in. So it's nice to see Apple embrace reality for a change.
So in my understanding, Apple has announced two major parts of the iPhone that will be first in this program. That is the display, and the battery.
And the camera.
And the camera. Okay. This iPhone 6 was very easy to open. Thanks to the tools of iFixit, and it was a piece of cake. But I saw your teardown of the iPhone 13 Pro, and it's not, as you cannot compare this to phones.
Yeah, and
Right.
on a scale from 1 to 10, from 1 being super easy, my mom could do it, to 10, like only an expert could do it, what would you say is the iPhone 13?
Yeah, so our scale goes the other way. So if 10 is your mom can do it,
Okay.
Okay.
it's easy, I guess. So we rated a 6 out of 10, being relatively repairable. The main challenge is the adhesive on the screen.
Yeah.
You have to heat up in order to loosen it. So you need a suction cup and some way of heating it up. You can use a hair dryer or some other techniques.
Yeah, but I don't think Apple will put a hair dryer in the display kit they send me. They offer special tools for that. So is my understanding. So there must be some kind of tool that heats up, or am I wrong?
Yes, we don't know what tools Apple will propose using, but historically they have provided their technicians, their geniuses in the Apple stores with expensive jigs. It could be 500 or 1,000 euros for the tools to work on it. And that's a big part of what we try to do at iFixit, is come up with a way of doing the repair where the part plus the tool is economical in itself, right? And that, I can't sell you 500 euros of tools to do a 30 euro battery swap. So
At
we
least
have
you
to
can
find
try.
a different way.
Also Kai findet auch, dass es eigentlich gar nicht so schwer ist, das iPhone auseinander zu bauen. Also ich glaube, es war so eine gute 5, 4 oder sowas auf seiner Scale, die andersrum war. Das Schwierige ist, das hattest du ja auch schon gesagt, sind eben diese Klebeparts, dass man irgendwas braucht, um das aufzuheizen. Und und du hast dann den Föhn vorgeschlagen, oder ob Apple da irgendwelche teuren Aufheizgeräte oder Tools noch mitliefert.
At least I will change my display once. And I don't think Apple will deliver a $500 tool for changing one display on one particular iPhone. So I think maybe but it's only speculation, we don't know, but maybe they will lend me the tool so I can do the repair,
and then
after that I send it back. So that's a possible way.
That's an interesting idea. They want you to mail back your old screen anyway, so they could provide tools as part of it.
Yeah. Let's see. We will see that. That will be. Is that so? You are glad that there is some change and that there is some progress. But what does that affect your business? In some
Well, Apple is competing with us now.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, true.
I'm okay with that. We're thrilled to welcome Apple to the DIY repair world. We know a lot about it. And we're happy to share advice if they need any.
Maybe,
I think.
Yeah, sorry.
Go ahead.
No. You're.
The piece that we're a little bit concerned about is increasingly Apple has been pairing parts to the device.
Yeah.
So you have to have their software tool in order to make a repair work. And they don't seem to be backing down on that. And I think, back in the day, your computer came with the Apple diagnostic CD.
Yeah.
And that's what we need to see. It should just be common tooling. It should be available. You should be able to use any parts from anywhere. Google with the Pixel 6 just rolled out a new repair tool for calibrating a new fingerprint sensor with your Pixel.
Cool.
And I posted the Earl in the chat. You can just go to pixelrepair.withgoogle.com and click the button and pair a new part.
Yeah, cool.
And that's what we need to see is a tool that doesn't require Apple parts, that doesn't require their permission or a login to them for the tool.
Ja. Also tatsächlich sind ja Apple und iFixit jetzt quasi Konkurrenten, aber trotzdem sagt Kai, ist erstmal kein Problem. Apple kann gerne zu uns kommen, wenn sie Fragen haben im DIY-Business. Was das Problem ist tatsächlich, dass Apple halt so schlau ist und irgendwie nur Apple-Tools dann halt auch für die Geräte irgendwie, dass das so kombinierbar ist und das sagt Kai, ist halt so ein bisschen das Problem. Eigentlich sollte das mit jedem Tool und überall funktionieren. Ja. Das hat wohl Google gerade ganz gut gemacht mit irgendwie so einem Fingerprint-Sensor, den man kalibrieren kann. Ja. Das ist, hat er, glaube ich, auch gepostet.
Hat er auch gepostet, ne? Ja. The thing is, let's say all is speculation. We don't know yet, but I think you will get a prepared display, prepared with your iPhone. I don't think Apple will by any means allow somebody to change serial numbers of displays. There are tools in China, I know that. Also es gibt Tools in China, die das können. But I don't think Apple will ever hand those tools over to consumers, to customers. I don't think that will happen.
We will see.
Yeah, sure.
There may be legislation that happens that forces them, right? The European Commission has added right to repair to their framework. The new German government has said that right to repair is a major part of their priorities. Mm-hmm. And what we're pushing for with that legislation is tools and software that is open to everyone that works with an interchangeable part. So we may go beyond what Apple's sort of perspective. It may not be relevant if the regulators step in. Yeah, Apple wants to keep the Lightning ports on the iPhone as well, right?
Ja, ist true. Ja, da kommt wieder so ein bisschen die Rechtslage denen ein bisschen in die Quere, weil was Apple will, kann natürlich schön sein, aber wenn dann die Rechtslage eine andere ist, wie jetzt zum Beispiel in Deutschland, wo das wohl anscheinend jetzt mit der neuen Regierung verankert wird, dass man das Recht hat, irgendwie Geräte reparieren zu können. Ja, Pech gehabt, da muss sich dann halt Apple auch dran halten, so genau mit dem Lightning-Kabel und dem USB-C.
Yeah. We already have a date for next year, this time next year, so we can recap what happened.
Yeah.
But that will be great progress if that happens. And there's from a technical point of view, there's no reason to pair a display to the motherboard on an iPhone that is only locking users out of the device. And okay, let's see. We will see what happens. We have a few more questions on the chat. I see you are reading with us, but Markus sagt, das Minimieren hat ja nur mit den neuen Pros einen leichten Umkehrschwung bekommen. 1 bis 2 Millimeter wären auch beim iPhone zugunsten von mehr Akku echt toll. He says, if the iPhone is a little bit thicker and has a bigger battery, that will be great. Fred asked a very fundamental question, and I don't want to. I will read it to you. Will you doing a teardown of an Apple car?
Absolutely. If Apple releases a car, we will absolutely take it apart.
That would be great fun to watch.
Ja, also es wird ein Teardown vom Apple-Auto geben, wenn es jemals rauskommt.
Have you ever tore down a Tesla?
We ordered one to take it apart, and we were just too late in the order queue, so it would have been 6 months late. I think we have a Cybertruck on order, and we also have the new Ford F-150 electric truck on order.
Okay.
To see if we can do those. But it will really just be a question of, do I get it fast enough for it to be interesting? So if any of you get one early and you want to share,
we send you one over, no problem. But there's some kind of chip crisis at the moment. I don't think we are in front of you.
Okay, also tatsächlich.
Our team is in Stuttgart. You don't have to get it to California.
Stuttgart I know. We know your team. Great guys there.
Also tatsächlich wird es einen Teardown geben. Sollte, für Tesla waren sie zu spät dran, aber sie haben den Cybertruck geordert und noch 1, 2 andere, irgendwie Ford. Was war das?
Ford und diesen,
also auf jeden Fall wurde es geordert und sollte es in Time kommen und dann noch relevant sein, wird es auf jeden Fall einen Teardown geben.
Ja. Eine Frage von Stefan an Kyle. wie war die Reaktion bei iFixit, als man in der WWDC Keynote das Toolkit gesehen hat? Maybe you have already understand what I'm going to say. Have you watched the WWDC Keynote and have you noticed that there was an iFixit toolkit in?
Yes. Yeah, Apple's designers have used our tools for a very long time. Johnny Ive's design team uses our tools. In the last several keynotes at WWDC, our toolkits have made it. So absolutely, we make the best tools in the world. Apple makes the best products in the world. We're happy to be helping each other.
Sehr gut. Also tatsächlich hat das auch gesehen und er sagt aber auch, dass die Designers bei Apple iFixit-Tools schon sehr lange nutzen und ja, iFixit macht die besten Werkzeuge und Apple die besten Devices. Great partners.
Yeah, that would be a long-lasting friendship. Yeah. But are you in contact with Apple? On some,
yes.
Are you allowed to talk about it? But on some kind.
No.
No. Yeah. Okay.
But yes, no, we do have conversations. We have a dialogue, and we think there's a lot of room to improve, and improve by collaborating together.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. So talking is always a good thing. If you talk with and not about each other, that's a great thing. Yeah. What do we see? How will iFixit develop in the next few years? Have you some perspective for us?
Sure. I mean, we are always working on adding more repair guides. We have added schematics for power tools now, so you can look up like a Hilti a drill will have an exploded diagram of all of the parts inside. We're adding parts to these all the time. We're up over 70,000 repair guides on iFixit and more expanding regularly. So vacuums and all kinds of kitchen appliances. Our goal is to be the destination to learn how to repair anything. And we've been making systematic progress at that.
Das ist super cool. Also iFixit erweitert die ganze Zeit die Range of Devices, also sämtliche technische, also das Ziel ist tatsächlich, sämtliche technische Geräte irgendwie reparierbar zu machen.
But as we had the German division of iFixit in our show, I said iFixit is on some kind the Wikipedia of repairing. It is. Yeah. It is user-based. You can, as a user, you can also upload a manual. But what was the funniest, or let's say the craziest thing you ever did a manual about? Was war das Verrückteste, was du jemals, wo es eine Anleitung gibt?
Our community is always doing crazy things, but I can answer the one that I did personally that was that I really enjoyed was, and I'm pulling up the German guy. We did it. There was a robot dinosaur called Plio.
Yeah,
that was just fantastic. Yeah, so it was very complex inside. And so that's probably my favorite.
I'm already looking on your website, but I cannot find it.
Yeah, I'll post the link to the chat here. Plio is this amazingly clever, creative robot dinosaur. And it was just, we had to cut Plio open. It was very sad.
Oh.
This little toy with rubber skin, and there were no screws. You had to just like cut the skin open to get in. Plio did not get back together again.
Okay, also ein Robodino ist das. Plio, von dem habe ich noch nie gehört.
Ja, den gab es auch hier, aber nicht so richtig erfolgreich.
Spielzeug oder eher?
Ja, es ist schon Spielzeug.
Okay. Ja, also das war auf jeden Fall das, wo er am meisten Spaß hatte, aber es war auch ein bisschen traurig, weil er Plio dann halt eben so aufschneiden müsste. War schon ein bisschen wie eine Operation.
And what kind of device are you looking forward to make a manual about? What can I send you over to?
Well, I think all of these new electric cars are really interesting. The Taycan and all. So I'm excited to see the new era. I think that all the repair shops are going to have to learn new skills and have new tools. And I really want to see the new era of DIY mods on electric cars. Ford has announced that they're selling a drop-in electric motor and battery that you can put in any car. So if you want to take your old Volkswagen and make it electric, you can drop that conversion kit in. So that's an area that I think is going to be really fun.
Also Kai freut sich schon sehr auf diese E-Auto-Ära, die ja jetzt so langsam startet, weil natürlich auch alle Werkstätten und das muss man ja alles, das muss alles umgestellt werden auf neue Gerätschaften und da halt auch irgendwie so die Betriebsanleitungen oder die Repair-Anleitungen zur Verfügung zu stellen. Das wird auf jeden Fall spannend. Und er hat noch ein Beispiel genannt, dass Ford anscheinend irgendwie plant, so eine Art eben auch Bausatz zur Verfügung zu stellen, dass du halt, was weiß ich, das Ding in deinen alten Käfer einbauen kannst und dann einen E-Käfer oder sowas hast. Das wäre natürlich richtig krass.
I'm still on the Plio teardown because I want our audience to show the little dinosaur. Oh. There it is. Oh, it's I saw that manual. Oh yeah, and it's so sweet. But yeah, there you go. You have to.
You have to. But I mean, the mechanism, the vertebra in the neck and the tail were just a really clever design. The whole thing was very simple. But I mean, if you actually held one, it's the size of a cat, and you would pet it, and it would purr. It would detect your touch. The tail was a marvel of engineering. So I still think this is one of the cooler things we've ever disassembled.
Yeah. Yeah, it's great.
Now I want one.
Yeah. Do you still have that is disassembled?
I think I have the parts. I would love to have a functional Plio.
Yeah. There was once a robot dog from Sony. I don't know its name.
Aibo.
Yeah, Aibo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I so badly wanted, but it was so expensive.
Yeah, it was. Mm-hmm.
I don't know what a Plio costs, but the Aibo you couldn't afford.
Yeah.
Have you tore down one?
We would like to. We had trouble getting one. Again, it was one of those time thing where if we could get it when it was brand new, we would take it apart. This is. I'm looking. It looks like so they don't make Plio anymore, but the people who have their Plio, well, maybe they do. Here's this is. You're taking me back in memory lane. It looks like maybe
no problem.
Manufacturer.
No problem.
It looks like. So maybe you can $500.
Wow,
not cheap.
Mm-hmm.
Not cheap, yeah.
But it's still cheaper than the Aibo, right?
Yeah, the Aibo was a few $1,000s. Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe that's the future of our toys.
Yeah.
So we have, or for older people, we have maybe some robot cats or robot animals.
Right, that would be neat.
Yeah. Let's see what the future brings. We are looking forward for new products from Apple next year. What do you think about you said something little about the new MacBook Pros, but what do you think about the new MacBook Pros in the repairability but also the whole product?
Right. So we've really had a problem with Apple's MacBook Pro design for the last, close to a decade, since 2012, when they went and glued in batteries. We've been really frustrated with the design. We usually give them a 1 out of 10 on our repair score. And it's been made even worse by the keyboard problems that they've had, where if you get a speck of dust in your keyboard, it breaks the keyboard, which breaks the upper case.
Yeah.
And you have to move a large portion of the computer. So that really emphasized the problems with lack of repairability, and it certainly cost Apple a lot of money in repairs. It's cost Apple's customers a lot of money in forced upgrades to a whole new computer because your keyboard isn't working. So the new laptop is better. It is. We scored it a 4 out of 10, and there's definitely some real improvements that we noticed inside. Notably, being the battery is much more straightforward to repair than before.
Okay, also die alten MacBook Pros waren tatsächlich in der Skala richtig mies. Wir haben ja gehört, also 1 ist ganz, ganz schlecht und super schlecht zu reparieren. 10 ist, dass meine Mama es tun könnte, und seit den letzten 10 Jahren war es eine 1 und für das neue MacBook Pro gibt es jetzt zumindest eine 4. Also das
Yeah,
ist schon mal.
it's a progress. I was a victim of the failure of the keyboard, and they completely, as you said, they completely swapped the uppercase, and that is not a way of repairing things.
Yeah, that's
of course
not
I can swap the whole device, and it's some kind of repaired, but that is not the way. Okay, yeah, we're looking forward what comes next. Maybe the next iMac will be an interesting object next year.
I hope so. I'm really not excited about the current iMac design. These things do not need to be so thin. It's just unreasonable. Let's have ports. There's nothing wrong with having the power supply in the frame of the iMac. But I mean, we've gone way too far in the direction of form over function.
Yeah.
An iMac is a desktop computer. It should be modular. You should be able to upgrade the storage, upgrade the memory.
Yeah.
This is common sense.
Yeah. Do you remember the iMacs where the display holds magnetically? That was a great thing.
It was fantastic. Yeah, and you could just use a suction cup, pop it off, throw a new SSD in, and you were good to go. Yeah, much better design.
Ja, Anne schreibt im Chat, solange ihr den Teddy nicht aufschneidet, that's our teddy bear, and we don't have the permission to open it.
No tear down.
No tear down. But there are no functional parts in it, so there's no reason to.
Only filling.
Sorry for this little commercial now. Diesen Teddybären könnt ihr nur noch im November kaufen für 14,90 €. 3 € davon kriegen wir. Unten verlinkt. Einfach mal draufklicken, ein paar bestellen. Die laufen sehr gut, aber Ende November Schluss damit. Und maybe we send one over to you as well. When you promise not to open it. Yeah, in exchange for a magnet. Yeah. Great. Yeah, but I hope you don't open the bear. Maybe.
We'll see. No promises.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
Yeah.
For this evening.
Thank you very much, Kyle. That was a very nice chat.
Absolutely. It was a blast joining you.
And don't hang up. We're usually doing a selfie with the whole team after the show.
Okay.
Sure. And danke schön an euch. Es war ein bisschen holprig mit der Übersetzung, nicht weil wir nicht gut übersetzt haben, aber das ist halt immer, wenn man englisch sprechende Gäste hat. Ich finde, ein bisschen übersetzen müssen wir schon, haben wir auch gemacht. Hat uns auch sehr viel Spaß gemacht. Nächste Woche ist übrigens Late Talk. Da sind wir alle wieder beieinander. Und da spekulieren wir ein bisschen über die Weihnachtszeit, was uns so erwartet, also Apple-technisch natürlich. Ansonsten vielen Dank an Jan und Stefan im Chat und euch natürlich da draußen, die zugeschaut habt. Danke, Kerstin. Thank you, Kirsten, my wife, doing the whole show. And thank you, of course, Kyle, for being here on a Friday morning in sunny California. Love to see you in person next year. My colleague Vera and ich coming over, and maybe we see each other.
Sounds great. We'd love to have you.
Yeah, we will definitely be there. Okay. Danke, Julia.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're now in the English version. And have a great weekend. Stay safe and healthy, of course. And wir sehen uns nächste Woche. Bye bye.
Bye bye.